Hi everybody, Jackson here. Welcome back to the Daily Endeavours for the 9th of April. We've got a 15 seal set. As always, there'll be timestamps in the description if you want to fast forward, or like if you're stuck on a specific one or something. Alright, so I'm just enchanting, picking locks, destroying flame Atronachs, 50,000 damage with siege weapons, and 90,000 amount healing with the Scribed Abilities. It's a decent set. The only thing worth talking about with the Golden Pursuits for this is that crafting 2 items is so minuscule. It will count for just doing just the any skill, unless you do 2 enchanting writs across 2 characters, in which case would count for 2 dailies and 2 event boxes and all that. But yeah, it's not really worth talking about that. But yeah, it's an okay set. This one's the only one that's DLC related, and then everything else is fairly straightforward. But I'll start with Scribed Abilities. If you're prepared for this, if you've got a setup for this, you can basically just do it from wherever the hell you are standing still. So there's one thing I think you need for this, and that's it. Basically, well, 2 things. Once you got those, you can just do it from fucking anywhere. So let me first go through how you actually heal with Scribed Abilities, because even if you have a Scribed ability to heal yourself, you can spam it over and over and nothing will actually happen, because this word here, amount, this is actually missing health. It doesn't say it in the tooltip, but that's what it means. So what you have to do is basically you have to either get enemies to hit you and take your health off and then heal, or you take your health off yourself. That also works. So what you can do is you can have an ability like Blood Altar, which takes your health off, and then you can just remove your health and then start healing yourself with something like Healing Salt, for example. And that's what I suggest you do, because it means you don't have to run off, find some enemies to kill, or whatever the hell. It means that wherever you are, you can just do this, and then repeat the process. Bonus points if you're a vampire, because you can use the Blood Frenzy ability, which also takes off health, but gives you weapon and spell damage, which will make your heals better. Now, as far as getting a Scribed ability to heal yourself goes, there's only... I really think you only need one, right? So this one here, Wield Soul, you get this from just completing the first Scribing quest, but I do suggest... That's the only issue I have with this one, is that if you want to do this one well, you kind of need to progress a little bit on one character. It'll take a few hours, because you want to do the first quest, the second area of scribing, the Wing of the Indrik, which is the one that you have to do after that, and then you have a choice to do 3. Once you complete the Sigil of the Dragon on any character, you'll unlock it in this section here in Upgrade in Collections. If you've got Sigil of the Luminary Dragon, you can find a bunch of scripts available in the Mages Guilds. And this is important because this allows you to get the other 2 that I use here. So the healing one comes from Indrik, which is the second quest that you do, and then Vitality and Druids will be available to you once you've done the 3rd quest. So it's a little bit, that's the thing, it's a little bit of a preparation to get here, because otherwise you basically don't have anything to heal with. So it is a little bit of a prep. But once you've done it, it's like the provisioning one I was talking about the other day. Once you've done the prep, that's it. From that point on, you can just do this easily. So in order to find Druids and Vitality, you need to go to each of the Mages Guilds in certain locations. So for the Druids one, which gives you resources back every time you cast a skill, which I think is important because you will be spamming the fuck out of the skill, you go to this Mages Guild here in Stormhaven. What I would say you do is you can either use the Boatswain from Glenumbra, or you can go to this house here. Where was it? Gardener House. This one. So access this house from Home Tours through here. Go browse homes and look up Gardener House in all houses. Travel there, go out the front door, and it will take you to Stormhaven. And right around the corner is the Mages Guild. You go upstairs on the 2nd floor, in the stairs to the left when you get in, and there'll be the piece of paper on the right next to some of the bookshelves up there. That's the Druids one. You just use that, and then same thing with Rolka in Reaper's March. So again, you can use the Boatswain from Vocal Guard, or you can, I believe there's a house here that you can use something like that. Or is it this one? There's a house near Rolka. I think it's the... let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, Sleek Creek House. That is the one that is just northwest of Rolka. So I believe it's this one up here. So you can use that as well. Do the same thing. Go out the front door when you rock up here. You get this way shrine, so you've got it always. And the item will be the script that you need for Vitality will be here. And you want Vitality because it just increases healing done, which, as you can imagine, is helpful for this one. So those are what I suggest. And then Blood Altar to remove your health. You can also use Siphoning Strikes if you've got it on a Nightblade. I'd say that's better, because this gives you your resources back. So this one uses up your resources to give you health, this uses up your health to get your resources if you've got Siphoning Strikes. So Siphoning Strike is great, but if you don't have that, it's no big deal, just cast this over and over. It just means it's just a little bit slower, that's all. You get Blood Altar from any of the 3 starting city taverns. I'd say the quickest one to get to would be Glenumbra, because you go to Rosie Lion right here from just south of the Wayshrine. Mighty Mordred inside, you talk to her, you start the quest for the one of the Undaunted. That will unlock the Undaunted skill line. You will have Blood Altar straight away. So you can just put a skill point in that, you'll have that available, so that's all you need. From that point, either Siphoning Strikes or Blood Altar, and then your Scribing Healing skill, a Healing Soul, that's all you need. So from this point, all you got to do is from where you're standing, cast Altar over and over, and then cast Healing Soul over and over, and that's it. Eventually you'll get this one done. Does not take you very long, like a minute. It will probably be even quicker if you have a character dedicated to this. You can do this in like 10 seconds. Especially with like that vampirism thing like I was talking about. So yeah, this one's super easy to do. It's just unfortunately it takes a little bit of setting up in order to get this done super fast. But once you've done it the first time, that's it. It's super fast from that point onwards. Alright, so let's talk about crafting items of the Enchanting skill. So in order to craft a glyph, if you're not familiar, you need 3 things. There's 3 different types of runes, and you just need one of each. So you've got these sort of browny orange circle runes called aspect runes. You've got the essence runes, the green triangle ones, and then the blue square ones. So it's a little bit different on how you're going to get these, but just all you need to do is just find 2 of each and then craft them. The only issue is that the blue ones and the high, like the blue, purple, and gold ones, you need to be a certain level in Enchanting to use them. But let me do this in a way that basically everyone will be able to do. So there's the blue ones. The only ones that you're really going to need to worry about are Jode and Jorah. These can be used from level 1 in Enchanting, so everyone will have access to these. They're also the cheapest. These are available infinitely from any enchanter in the game, like this one here. Anyone with the enchanter title, you just be able to buy as many of those as you want. So that's what I suggest for the blue ones. The green and orange ones are a little bit more... it's going to require a little bit more running around to find them. Guild stores are going to be your best bet, because generally people just have a bunch of these things lying around. So for example, we'll just go have a look at this one here, just randomly. Go in, go to materials, Enchanting, and then you can just go all, but you can separate them as well. So Donata requires, I don't know the level, but it requires a little bit of Enchanting, not much. Maybe level 10 or 20, but you don't want those. Jajota is best, but 10 gold per Jajota is fucking ridiculous. So I would use this one if you can, because you can use this at level 1, and it's cheaper than Tar are for some reason, except in this case, which is weird. But Tar is generally more expensive in like most cases than Jajota are. The reason for this is Tar is used in reds, whereas Jajota is not. So Jajota is sort of like the lowest of the runes in aspect, even though they're more valuable, arguably. So I suggest using Jajota, because you can use them at level 1, and they're also cheaper to find on guild stores. As you can see here, 3 gold for 100 Jajota, that's great. Yeah. So that's what I'd suggest. Donata is also quite cheap usually, so any of these, as long as you can use Donata, just be aware of that. Now, as for Essence Rune, it doesn't matter which one you get, it's just that some are definitely going to be more expensive than others. So anything basically that's like 10 gold per rune, for green ones, is going to be fine. Just, this is the only thing that matters here, the unit price. Just make sure you've got a low unit price and everything will be fine. So yeah, just buy 100 Jajota and then like maybe 200 Kaderi. And then buy your Jorah or Jode from the Enchanter, and that'll be everything you need. So that's a quick way to do it, but if you just want to do it manually yourself, all you need to do is find 2 runestones. So I assume most people know what a runestone looks like in this game, but for those not familiar, I'll just make sure you know. So it's this. So these things here, you'll usually see them in the wild. They'll usually have like an orange tint on the ground that you can see, like an orange glow on the floor that you can see from a distance. Every time you collect one of these, they will always have at least one of the essence rune, the green triangle ones, and then one of the orange circle ones, the aspect runes. Sometimes they'll also have a blue one, but if you're max level and your enchanting is level 1, you might get the high level ones, and that might not be good. So yeah, you can find a couple of those. You might get really lucky and just run into like a random place from a wayshrine in the middle of nowhere and just find 2 of these, and that might work well. But if not, I don't think there's anything wrong with just going to a guild trader, finding a stack of Jojota, a stack of like a essence rune, and then just buying them that right. Because from this point on, whenever one of these endeavors comes up, you've got tons of these things to use at your disposal, so you don't need to go around looking for them. So you can just go to any enchanting station in the game and just craft these whenever you need them. So I just think that's the best way to do it. Also, I guess worth noting, you also can use... I don't have any on me. If you do enchanting writs, I mean, if you're set up to do enchanting writs, you can probably do this anyway, right? So, but enchanting surveys can give you a ton of runes very quickly if you do one of them, so that's worth noting as well. But like I said, anyone who has enchanting surveys probably has an excess of runes available to use and knows how to do enchanting endeavors, so I'm just going to assume that's not really something you need to worry about. So yeah, we'll just go to the station, and for example, I have some stuff here. For example, I could just use a Meep, and then Recruiter Denata, and then yeah, I could use any of that stuff. I need to cross some stuff for... Hello? I can't talk to her. The fuck? Hello? Oh, okay, well fine. Alright, just don't allow me to talk to you for like 5 minutes. Yeah, fun fact, that character just decides not to let you talk to her for a bunch. Okay, so just gonna make this. Yep, should be good. And then I'll make a weapon one. Yep. Well, let's put those on some stuff I'm leveling for someone. I know that was the weapon, and then start. Cool. So this is also the reason we're in Skywatch here. I also suggest this for one of the other endeavors, picking locks. Not the only option, but for me it's the most straightforward option. So Skywatch here, just a little bit north of Vocal Guard. You can use the Mattison Manor house from home tours to get here a little bit quicker. Just come up here, just travel up here, and just get the way shrine. There's also some guild traders too if you want to look for some runes to do the enchanting one. So a lot of good reasons to be here. But the main reason for this is with the picking locks one, there are 3 locked doors here. They are always locked no matter what, and even if other players go to unlock them, unlike with chests, in which case, if someone else comes and grabs the chest, you won't be able to grab it yourself. If someone else unlocks the door, it'll still be locked for you. So these 3 doors here, no matter what's going on, will always be locked, so you can just do the picked locks endeavor. Whenever you're ready, one of you come here. But the only thing is there's a couple of guards around that might see you. So you just need to check around just to make sure the guards aren't too close to the door. But it doesn't take long to open them. So there's one of the guards there. There's one of the guards there. So when they come this way, just expect them to take a random turn around to come to you. But sometimes they don't, yeah. You do not want to get a bounty here. Or you don't want to keep a bounty because the guards are pretty much right where you want to go. So you're pretty much just always going to be dealing with that. So yeah, there's another door here, same thing. Now, the reason I don't go in once the door's open is there's people inside and they might get angry at you for trespassing, so you don't really want that. So as far as public dungeons go, public dungeons are full of chests, which you can pick the locks of. Treasure map chests don't really work. Dolmen chests don't really work because it's picking locks, it's not actually looting chests. But those are going to be the 2 best methods. picking locks of chests in public dungeons because there's so many. You can also do the same thing in random chests in the overland, but a bit less reliable because they're all over the place, whereas the ones in public dungeons, they're a lot less spread out. Especially the ones like Obsidian Scar, the dungeon is so small that there's just so many chests lit around in such a small area that's just good to do. So I'm going to link in the description my maps for all the chest locations for 4 different public dungeons that I think are worth doing, just because they're so easy to find all the chests in. So there's Obsidian Scar. In Western Skyrim, you also got Labyrinthian. I think this is the best one to use because the Venomous Smite set that you can get from here is actually really good. So if you can collect that set for yourself, it might be handy. The other 2, in Vancry, you've also got Rezik's Wheel. It's pretty good. You can also get Spriggan, and there's a Leaper Ring of the Pale Order, so you want to do that anyway, right? And then Forgotten Crypt because of Mother's Sorrow. It's always good too. So I'll link in the description the maps for finding all the chests for those. I'm pretty sure they're all found, minus a couple maybe in Rezik's Wheel and in... Yeah, maybe just Rezik's Wheel. Maybe one in Forgotten Crypt, I'm not sure. But yeah, majority of them have been found. So yeah, I'll link those. But yeah, you can just use this and it's really easy to use because... Ominous Lightning. The guards are fairly chill, like they don't come around the door often, and from the Wayshrine it's super easy to get to, and you'll probably want to use this anyway to get the Enchanting one done, right? So why not get 2 done at a pretty quick way. Alright, now let's talk about Fire Atronachs. There's a bunch of places you can find Fire Atronachs in this game. They're all overland areas though. But there's one I will talk about that's really easy to access via a dungeon. Dungeons are good because they're instant, so you don't have to worry about other places like this, just like killing all the ones that spawn. Got lucky and found one here. But so this is Willow Grove, just south of the Willow Grove Wayshrine here, a bit south of Rolkar. I don't like using places like this though, because as you can see, players all have the same idea, come down here and do the same thing, and it means that you're waiting for all the enemies to respawn, and if you're not quick, these Fire Atronachs are quite weak, they die super fast. Now there's a bunch of overland areas you can use, but I feel like they're all going to have the same issue, where this is just going to happen. Players are just going to roll through, kill as many of them as they can see. They don't wait around for other players, because they're not thinking about that, just thinking about getting these stuns super fast. So Willow Grove here, you've got in Craglorn, you've got Spellscar. There are Fire Atronachs here, but again, they die super fast because all the players there. In Vardenfell, you've got Forgotten Wastes, not Forgotten Crypts. This area has a bunch of Fire Atronachs as well, but same thing, they tend to die quite quickly. There's a group event there you can heal a bunch. If it's up, though, sometimes it takes a while to respawn. There's Fire Atronachs here. Oh. Cool. Oh, nice, that guy waited for me. That was nice. So... yeah, Fire Atronachs here. Sometimes you can get lucky, but not always, right? So, yeah, Fire Atronachs there. There are a lot here, but especially if it's like prime time, everybody's going to be fucking killing these things super fast. So, yeah, I should say, it's not always that bad, but yeah, sometimes it is. So, yeah, sorry, as I was saying, there are quite a few in Vardenfell, actually. There's some here, around this area near Aldrin, where all the Ashlanders are. There's some around here, I believe. I'm not 100% certain. I don't think you can even access that, actually. Yeah, some here. Some around some of these ruins here as well. Yeah, so that's all the normal sort of overland ones that I would suggest. There are instance ones, though. So instance places, like I said before, when you go in there, if you're on your own, no players can actually do that version of the dungeon. They get their own instance version. So the reason this is good is just means they won't stop you from being able to kill them as soon as you get in. So City of Ash 1 is what you're looking for. City of Ash 2 also has Flame Atronachs. Also, Ethereal Archive does too. Where's Ethereal Archive? Here. But they are super duper tanky, even on normal, because you're expecting it to be like 12 players in there. If you see one of the trials in Group Finder, if you want to do that for the Golden Pursuit, if it ends up being Ethereal Archive, you could do that. But yeah, I wouldn't really depend on that. So let me just go into... well, let me first explain... Yeah, I'll just go there first. one more I forgot to mention actually. If you have the High Isle DLC and you want to do volcanic vents for incursions for the Golden Pursuit, there are quite a few fire Atronachs that you'll see here. They're very tanky, so, well, not very tanky, but they're relatively tanky, so they will take some time to kill. So you should get some participation in killing them too. And volcanic vents are always up too, so it's always fire Atronachs pretty much. But yeah, I just prefer doing this. So this is City of Ash 1. Ignore these guys here, keep moving. In this flame, when you attack these scamps here, there will be one that spawns here, and this will be a common theme within the entirety of this dungeon. There's going to be lots of fires all around the place, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to spawn fire Atronachs. The enemies here are a little bit tanky, so if you've got like a level 30 character, you might struggle in here a little bit on your own. Just have a self-heal, you can usually handle it pretty well. If you can do stuff like public dungeons and dolmens on your own, you can probably handle normal dungeons. So as you can see, there's another one here. All the like trees are getting in the way. The same thing. So there's one there. There's one here. Kill that one, and that's it. But if you fight this group here, there's 2 that spawn from these fires here when you start that fight. So that's 5. Underneath this tree here, there's also a group of enemies. If you fight them in a fire in this little corner here that you can't see, another one will spawn. There's a lot of enemies that you have to fight in that group though, so I don't like doing that too much on like a low level. From that fire over there, when you attack those Vanekin, it will spawn one. And in this group here, there will be one that spawns. So it's also quite a good good group to attack for the Atronach one, I think. Yeah, from that point, that's 5. There's like 10, I think, that you can get. A bunch more in this section here when you go down. But yeah, and the boss, the final boss, also spawns a ton. But anything other than that, it's just complicating it too much. You only need 5, right? So you just need to kill a few of these Atronachs that spawn in these groups, and that's it. So if you want to access this place for the first time, just check if you have this way shrine, because that'd be one of the quickest ways to get there. Or this way shrine too. So what you want to do is you go north from Marbrook and go up here, and City of Ash just here. Once you unlock it for the first time, you'll be able to travel from a way shrine in here anytime, so it's easy to get here from that point. But for the first time, yeah, it's just a bit annoying. So there's this house here, Cliffshade. If you don't have this way shrine, this is what I suggest. Again, use the home tools, browse homes, go to C, go Cliffshade, and just travel to that house. And just travel outside, and you rock up in Greenshade Marbrook. And from there, it's just a little bit north. Go through the enemies here, and then there's a couple of enemies here. Just mostly ignore them. You can just not have to fight them. You'll still be able to get inside here just fine. So yeah, get to the door, choose City of Ash 1, and that's it. You're ready to go from that point. Alright, last one. Dealing damage with siege weapons. So now that Vengeance campaign has gone away, the one thing I do like about it not being here anymore is that the siege weapon endeavors will be easier. So Fireball Blisters, I think that's the only thing you need. Just grab a couple of these things. Just make sure you grab, if you get them from guild stores, which is what I think you should do if you can find some, just make sure it's the right faction, because if you get, for example, if you're a Pact player and you get a Covenant one, you can't use it. So yeah, just make sure you do that. These things are good because they deal fire damage and then fire damage over time, so it's just fire one shot basically if you get it right, and then just forget about it, because they do like tens of thousands of damage just from that alone. So it's very quick to do, it's just you need to find some targets. So let me show you. So siege merchants, if you can't find any on guild stores, these siege merchants they're in the gates, and they're also in each of the keeps. They sell 5-volt blisters, infinite source for 750 gold. Obviously it's nowhere near as good as getting it from guild store for like 40 gold, as you can see there, but they're not always available in guild stores, so yeah, you can't always rely on that. Yeah, 750 gold, and you can do this in a couple of minutes. So 750 gold for 15 seals in a couple of minutes, I think that's a good value. So I would say go with it, but yeah, it's your call there. So what we want to do is go to very specific locations. So in each faction, you've got one. So these question mark here is Volendrung spawn locations. This one here behind the keep walls, you can use any of these question mark locations. The thing about this tooltip is, it says to play as guards or keeps, ignore that shit. Anything that you can damage in Cyrodiil will count for this damage with siege weapons endeavor. And the only reason I suggest using these is because they're these ones here are behind walls, so players can't, like, as long as these walls are closed, as long as these keeps are under your control, these gates will be closed, but players can't actually come in here. So there's no way for players to actually get in the way to stop you from doing this. Otherwise, you can just use the ones out here. You can use enemy keeps at the resources, because the resource guards, they won't move, and they'll just take hits, and they're basically invulnerable to getting killed by a siege from, like, far away. So you just keep pelting them with siege as much as you need, and you can do it that way. That's what I would suggest otherwise. But these areas here, because they're so convenient, I just suggest using these. So I'll show you where to go for that. So all three of the factions have these. So as you can see, you've got this one here in the snow area for Ebonheart. There is one here for Daggerfall as well. The same thing, you go from the Southern High Rock Gate and just come out here. And same thing for Old Mary Dominion. So as long as these three keeps here are owned by you, these gates are closed, these places will be super convenient. So yeah, Eastern Elsewhere Gate, it's a little bit west, and it's over here. I like this one the most because there's this rock that you can put your ballista on, and the enemies won't be able to actually attack you from it, which is a little bit important for this. Not mandatory, but like it helps for like getting back out of it, and helps for making sure it's sort of efficient in the way that you do it, because it's going to be very strange explaining it, but you don't want to kill the enemies, so I'll explain why. But yeah, if you can, because you want to hit the enemies once, you don't want to kill them, and then you want to leave, basically. You don't have to, you can just kill them if you want, but it's not good. It's not good for the rest of the player base if you do that. So anywhere that you can sit on like a rock and not and where these enemies can't actually hit you is good. So you can just do it from over there. But I'm going to see if I can find a good spot where they can't actually hit me. Actually. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I found one. So basically anywhere the enemies can't hit you is perfect. So what you do is you just shoot them. The more you hit, the better. Because it'll get done now. Get done quicker, sorry. So the reason you don't want them to die is if you deal too much damage to them, they'll die, and they'll take a while to respawn, which is annoying for other people if they want to do it, because they won't have the same enemies to attack. So what you want to do is either sit far enough away where the amount of time it takes them to run over to you will be too long, and they'll reset and go back and get all their health back, or sit in a place like this where it's too difficult to get to you for them, so they'll just reset on the spot. So it just means that if multiple people want to do this endeavor, I don't know how. That's the thing. I don't know how famous this will be eventually, but just in the event that heaps of people start doing this shit, it's just better for everyone if you don't kill these guys, because this one here, it makes this one really easy if you do that. So yeah. So from that point, that's it. You can put your siege weapon away. You don't have to worry about this anymore, and just save the siege weapon for another day. Because you can just keep using that one siege weapon over and over and over again whenever this one comes up, and it's relatively easy. Now, if you don't want to go all the way back, for example, if you're out here trying to do this one, and then you just want to go back and it's like a little bit of a trek getting back to Arius, or if you've just seen a bunch of enemies and you don't want to deal with that shit, or like a bunch of players and you don't want to deal with that shit, what you can do is go campaigns, Imperial City, enter campaign, and wherever you're standing right now, it will teleport you out of Cyrodiil into a safe location in Imperial City, and as soon as you get in, you look around and there'll be an exit that you can take, and it will take you straight back out to wherever you were in the overland. So look around, there's this exit here. On the map, it will appear as like the circle icon, so you just hit this, and it will take you back out to wherever you were before, so Oridon. So that's it. So yeah, pretty good set this time around. Alright, if you got any questions as always, just let me know. That's Daily's done. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I will see you all next time, and take care.